طلبة المرحلة الثانية، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Our lecture today is about the anatomy of the spleen and pancreas. First, we will take the spleen. The spleen, this organ is oval in shape. Oval in shape. It's reddish in color and is regarded as the largest lymphoid mass in the body. Largest lymphoid mass in the body, so it have an immune function or immunological function. It is situated deep in the left hypochondrium in the abdominal cavity. Here we can see this is the spleen. It is oval in shape and it is situated deep in the left hypochondrial region under the cover of the left hemidiaphragm. It is wedged in between the stomach and the diaphragm. It is related very nearby to the 9th, 10th and 11th ribs. Here we can see how the spleen is related very near to the 9th, 10th and 11th rib. Its longitudinal axis lies with the axis of the 10th rib. Its lower pole will extend to the mid-axillary line on the left side. Its lower pole will extend to the mid-axillary line and it doesn't descend behind this limit. So it is regarded as normally it is impalpable during examination, abdominal examination. The spleen is impalpable normally. It have two surfaces. It is completely covered by peritoneum and it have two surfaces. One that is facing the diaphragm called the diaphragmatic surface, and one that is facing the viscera, adjacent viscera, is called the visceral surface. Visceral surface has three main impressions. One that is large called the gastric area, one that is medial called renal area, and the inferior one related to the left colic flexure is called colic area. So this surface is called the visceral surface. And one that is facing the diaphragm is called the diaphragmatic surface. It have notched anterior border. Anterior, or sometimes it is called superior border. It have notched. As we said before, the spleen is completely covered by peritoneum, and at the hilum, the peritoneum will become double layer and it extend to the stomach and extend to the left kidney, forming two ligaments. The one that go to the greater curvature of the stomach called gastrosplenic ligament. Gastrosplenic ligament that it will transmit the short gastric vessels and the left gastroepiploic vessel. While the another one, the splenorenal ligament that connected the spleen to the left kidney called splenorenal ligament or the lienorenal ligament will transmit the splenic vessels and the tail of the pancreas. The splenic vessel and the tail of the pancreas. So these are the ligaments of the spleen. One that is connecting the spleen to the stomach or called gastrosplenic ligament, and one that is connect the spleen to the left kidney is called splenorenal ligament or the lienorenal ligament. What is the anterior relation of the spleen? As we can see here, these are the structure that is related anteriorly to the spleen is the stomach, the tail of the pancreas, left colic flexure, left kidney that lie along the medial border of the pancreas, of the spleen. Here another picture showing that the spleen lies deep in the left hypochondrium under the cover of the diaphragm and is related to the 9th, 10th and 11th ribs. The anterior relation will be the spleen, the left kidney, the tail of the pancreas, left colic plecture, and the stomach. Most of the stomach here it is removed. These are the anterior relations of the spleen. What is the blood supply of the spleen is from by a large artery that is called the splenic artery. Splenic artery is one of the major branches of the celiac trunk, or the largest branch of the celiac trunk, that extend behind the stomach, and it runs a wavy course until it reaches the hilum. This is the splenic artery running over the upper border of the pancreas to reach the hilum of the spleen through the splenorenal ligament. It runs a wavy course. The splenic vein, it is formed at the hilum of the spleen, and it extends behind the tail and the body of the pancreas until it reaches the region of the neck of the pancreas. Here it will unite with the superior mesenteric vein to form the portal vein. This is the portal vein is formed behind the neck of the pancreas by the splenic vein and the superior mesenteric vein. The splenic vein also receives a tributary that is called the inferior mesenteric vein. The pancreas. The pancreas, this is an exocrine and endocrine gland, and so it is a mixed gland. The exocrine portion of this gland secrete or produce enzyme that digests protein, fat, and carbohydrate, while the endocrine portion will produce hormones that regulate blood sugar, the insulin and the glucagon. This is the pancreas, and we can see histologically it have two main components: the pancreatic islet or islet of Langerhans that secretes the hormone, the insulin and the glucagon, and the other acini, the exocrine portion, or called the pancreatic acini, that secrete the enzyme of the digestive juice that digests carbohydrate, protein, and fat. So the pancreas have two portions, exocrine and endocrine portion. Pancreas is regarded as a retroperitoneal organ. It is tethered to the posterior abdominal wall, covered by peritoneum. It extends from within the curve of the duodenum until its tail will reach the hilum of the spleen. So it extends to the spleen. Here we can see the pancreas is an elongated, soft and lobulated organ extending from the curve of the duodenum to the hilum of the spleen. It is situated mainly in the epigastric region, and also it reaches to the left hypochondrium at the level of the transpyloric plane, which is at the level of L1. What are the parts of the pancreas? These are the head, neck, body, and tail. And also there is a part of the head that extends below and to the left. It is called the uncinate process. The head of the pancreas is mainly lying within the concavity of the C-shaped concavity of the duodenum. This is the head. This is the downward projection from the head, and to the left it's called uncinate process. Then we have a constricted neck, then the body, and lastly the tail that reach to the hilum of the spleen. Here we can see in this figure, this is the pancreatic duct running the length of the gland, starting from the tail to the body, neck, and until it reach the head. These are the parts of the pancreas. This is the head, constricted neck, body, and tail. And we can see this is the uncinate process that extends below and to the left. Uncinate process, we can see that the superior mesenteric vessels will run in front of it or anterior to it. Superior mesenteric vessels running in front of the uncinate process. As we said before, behind the neck of the pancreas, we have the formation of the portal vein by the union of the splenic vein and the superior mesenteric vein. What are the anterior relations of the pancreas? Here, this is the pancreas. It is related anteriorly to the lesser sac or the omental bursa, and it is related to the stomach. Also anteriorly, we have the attachment of the transverse mesocolon and the presence of the transverse colon. So the structure will be the transverse colon, transverse mesocolon, the lesser sac, and the stomach. All these are the anterior relations of the pancreas. As the pancreas crosses the midline in front of the great vessels in the abdomen, it is related to certain structure posteriorly. So what are the posterior relations of the pancreas? These are the bile duct, portal and splenic veins, inferior vena cava, the aorta, the origin of the superior mesenteric artery, left psoas muscle, left suprarenal gland, and the left kidney, and lastly posteriorly is the hilum of the spleen. Also from this figure we can see this is the pancreas, this is the head, neck, body and tail, and it is related posteriorly to the bile duct, to the portal vein, to the inferior vena cava, to the aorta, to the left suprarenal gland or left adrenal gland, and the left kidney, and lastly it is related to the hilum of the spleen. These are the posterior relation of the pancreas. One of the important relation to the posterior relation to the head of the pancreas is the bile duct. This is the bile duct running posterior to the head of the pancreas. This is important. Why? If we have a tumor or enlargement, abnormal enlargement in the head of the pancreas, it will compress the bile duct. It will compress and causes a blockage to the bile duct and lead to a condition called obstructive jaundice. The pancreatic duct, as we said previously, it runs the length of the gland, have tributaries draining the digestive juices from the gland until it will drain it into the second or descending part of the duodenum, and here it will unite with the end of the bile duct, and it will cause elevation of the mucous membrane in what we call the major duodenal papilla. Here, this is the major duodenal papilla, which is an elevation of the mucous membrane of the duodenum caused by the entrance of the main pancreatic and bile duct. If we have an accessory pancreatic duct, it will open more proximal to the major one, and it will cause a minor elevation called minor duodenal papilla. Minor duodenal papilla caused by the accessory pancreatic duct. What is the blood supply of the pancreas? It is derived from the celiac trunk and the superior mesenteric artery. We have the superior pancreatico-duodenal artery that is derived from the gastroduodenal artery, which is a branch from the common hepatic artery. This is the superior pancreatico-duodenal artery. And we have a inferior pancreatico-duodenal artery. Inferior pancreatico-duodenal artery is a branch from the superior mesenteric artery. So we have branches from the celiac trunk, branch from the superior mesenteric artery. Also, another blood supply comes from the splenic artery that runs over the upper border of the pancreas. So we have three sources of blood supply: superior pancreatic duodenal artery, inferior pancreatic duodenal artery, and the splenic artery. This is a posterior view to the pancreas, and we can see how the blood vessels are arranged. This is the splenic artery running over the upper border of the pancreas. This is the superior pancreatic duodenal artery, a branch from the gastroduodenal artery, and the inferior pancreatic duodenal artery, which is a branch from the superior mesenteric artery. What is the lymphatic drainage and lymph nodes of the pancreas? Also, it will follow the arteries, one that follow the lymph vessels and lymph node that follow the superior pancreatic duodenal artery. It will drain into the celiac node, and the lymph node and lymph vessels that follow the inferior pancreatic duodenal artery, it will follow the lymph vessels that will pass to the superior mesenteric nodes. Celiac nodes around the origin of the celiac trunk, and the superior mesenteric node around the origin of the superior mesenteric artery. Thank you.